10 sad reasons people take advantage of you, and 5 easy ways to make them stop. In a perfect world, we'd all be considerate and kind to each other. But unfortunately, in reality, there are manipulative and selfish people who will do whatever it takes to get their way. And if you've fallen victim to this, you may be wondering why and how to avoid this happening in the future. Don't worry. This article will explain the reasons why people take advantage of you, and exactly how you can make them stop. Let's start with the first reason. 1. Low self-esteem. If you have low self-esteem, you might feel like it's difficult to stand up for yourself. For example, in a work meeting, a colleague might take credit for your hard work, and rather than speak out against them, you may feel you don't deserve the credit or respect for your contribution. This then allows other people to take advantage of you, as they know you won't fight your corner and call them out on their sneaky behavior. And this ties in with the next reason why people take advantage of you. 2. Fear of confrontation. Do you struggle to go head-to-head with people? Does confrontation over uncomfortable subjects make you squirm? If so, you're not alone. Many people try to avoid having it out with others. But if you constantly let people get away with things or brush issues under the carpet, it makes it easier for people to take advantage of you. Case in point. Your mother-in-law barks orders at you at a family party. She knows you won't want to make a scene by confronting her, so she piles on more chores and tasks, even though it's not your responsibility and you're simply a guest at this event. 3. Generosity. If you have a very generous nature, this is another reason people might take advantage of you. Put simply, they're abusing your kindness. They know that you hate turning people away if you can help, and rather than respect you for this lovely quality, they keep asking for more and more. An example of this is if you offer to help a friend in need by letting them stay with you for a few days. But then, a few days turn into weeks, and soon months have gone by. This so-called friend knows how generous you are and that it would be highly uncomfortable for you to ask them to leave. 4. Trusting nature. Having a trusting nature is an admirable quality, but unfortunately, it can mean you're easily convinced. And to a manipulator who wants to take advantage of you, this is a dream come true. Whether a stranger tries to scam you or a friend or colleague tries to take advantage of your time, money, or possessions, being too trusting too quickly can leave you vulnerable. The brutal truth is, cruel people will think nothing about abusing your good nature. 5. Desire to please. Another sad reason people might take advantage of you is if you have a strong will to please others. If this is the case, you'll probably find it hard to say no, or turn down favors when people come to you in need. This might stem from your childhood, especially if your parents had very high expectations of you. As a child, you felt like you had to conform to their wishes in order to please them. As an adult, you may still put your own desires and needs to one side to please your family, friends, or coworkers. People who are out to take advantage will see how hard you want to make everyone around you happy. They'll play on this and use it for their own gain. 6. Lack of boundaries. If you relate to any of the above, and you find that people do often take advantage of you, it is likely that you don't have strong boundaries in place. So, what does that look like? Let's take my friend Lily. She struggles with boundaries. Recently, a colleague kept asking her to cover his shift at work. Lily was already pretty tired and run down, but rather than say no, she kept agreeing. She didn't want to let him down, even though it was physically and mentally draining her. Lo and behold, her colleague kept asking. What Lily should have done was explain that she also needs a day off to relax, spend time with family, and disengage from work. If she had done that, she would have been setting a boundary and letting her colleague know that he was crossing the line. 7. Naivety. Depending on your life experiences, another reason people might take advantage of you is if you're naive and not very clued up on how people behave. For example, if you're new to traveling, it's much easier for a scammer to rip you off than, say, an experienced traveler who knows what to look out for. The same goes for friends, family, coworkers, and even romantic partners. Unfortunately, many people who haven't had much experience in the love department find their first boyfriend, girlfriend might take advantage of their naivety. They simply don't know better or have never been modeled what a healthy relationship should look like, so they think this behavior is normal, to an extent. 8. Codependency. Another sad reason people take advantage of you is if you're heavily reliant on them for emotional or financial support. In other words, if you have codependent habits. For example, If you rely on your partner to pay for you and your living expenses, you might be more inclined to give in to their demands and do what they say so they don't punish you financially. And your partner, if they're taking advantage of you, will hold this financial control over you as a way to get what they want. Now, I understand that if you are codependent, it might be hard to know how to break out of this cycle. Don't worry. After we're through with the reasons why people take advantage, I'll be giving some tips that should help you. 9. Insecurity. If you struggle with a lot of insecurity, you may be vulnerable to manipulators and people who want to take advantage of others. You see, when you're insecure, you might struggle to make decisions quickly, find it difficult to see your own worth and value, resort to people-pleasing as a way of being liked. All of the above is a recipe for being taken advantage of. You're more likely to believe, accept what people tell you rather than question them and make your own informed decisions. 10. History of abuse. And finally, if you've experienced a lot of abuse in the past, this might affect what you consider to be healthy relationships. If all you've known is maltreatment and abuse, you may struggle to spot the red flags when meeting new people and forming new connections. And sadly, this may lead to people taking advantage of you. But if you've related to one or a few of the points on this list, don't worry. We're now going to look at how to make sure no one takes advantage of you again.